30 millimeter. My aim to mature mindfully. Well, here we are. The big 3-0. Oh, depending on who you are, the tone might switch from O to O to O. Me, on the other hand, my O is more like a ah, as in voila or eureka, as in I'm astounded by the significance of the year and its timing. Time is a funny thing humans invented to calculate and track movement with the intention of understanding the mechanism we're participating within, the mechanism that influences our environment, our bodies, and our minds. Tracking time over time proved to work, and thus calendars were made, civilizations were formed, and so forth and such which. Standardization naturally sprang from this practice based on mental hierarchies. The standardization of time is a template that works for studying subjects outside of the body, but in an attempt to observe ourselves from within, we've taken the same template and used it against our internal world, which is vast and beyond anything we can physically imagine. The term change is the only constant comes to mind here. Comparing and contrasting my life to standards and statistics set with all sorts of funky intentions of feeding science and tech advancement, all of these standards and stats were on my membrane constantly growing up, all of which I had no business wasting my time with. By this age, your demographic will typically be XYZ. At birth, I was told I would be dead by the age of 7, if not 21, all due to an autoimmune response. Boy, what glee rang through my ears hearing that at the age of 13, right? Wrong. Since then, I made up in my mind that I define every aspect of my life because I refused to be put in anyone's category or prediction. Little did I know, I was beginning to simultaneously become aware of the mental mechanisms we use to understand the world around us while breaking through and creating my own. Be that as it may, I had to try on a few hats along the way. Still, none of them fit the concept of what I deemed fit for me. Fast forward some odd years later when I would discover theater. Well, we can see the lasting impact that one freshman class had on me today. No questions asked. When I entered my 20s, I was bent on letting the world know who I was, even if I had no clue of that self-concept yet. By then, I had already developed the character Jam Boom Boom. I took advantage of every professional opportunity presented to me. I shook the hands. I walked through the doors. I said yes. Then and only then did I know what was for me and what wasn't. Along the way, paramount societal shifts broadcasted on every television and radio would lead public discourse towards conflicts of our collective traumatic past. Centuries-old systems crashing, rehashing outdated ideologies only to create new problems in a seemingly new world. And since I was unlearning who and how I was and building this new me, this new mechanism, I felt like I was at a crossroad. Like I had no say at that time. I retreated into my headspace where I would isolate for days and days. Not healthy, I know. But it was only through that experience would I gain the key out of my self-isolation tactics. A toxic mechanism when not utilized correctly for the betterment of yourself and others. Showing up for others, void of myself. Showing up for myself, absent from others around me. Talk about the plight of an Aquarius stellium. A stellium is having 3 or more natal planetary placements in one sign or house. So astrologically, Pluto is transiting into 0 degrees Aquarius, where my natal sun and Venus sit. What a time, innit? Your spirit feels these effects regardless of how you observe astrological influences. All of this can basically be summed up as allegory to describe the intricate mechanism our spirit, our unseen self, utilizes to experience experiences. Now, according to numerology, a system that utilizes symbolic representation of numbers with corresponding events, these are the years of being outside, literally in one's environment, also spiritually outside of all that you grappled with from late teens throughout your 20s. Those internal battles you fought and lost and won and kept reliving in your head when times were tough, whether in silence, shit posting on Twitter, or telling 5 different people about it to get 5 different types of advice. Regardless, as we age, our desire is to exit from those layers and transition on to the next one, where you can make peace with yourself because at least you're alive. To all my 20-somethings, do not listen to what they say. You are nearing your prime at this age, all right? So drink your water, get into the latest trends and fads, and make sure you tweak them in your own way. Put things up and put them down, mentally and physically speaking. Everything you resonate with from within has the potential to benefit you without, as in financial gain, a wider network, that dream career, that relationship. But keep stacking your money. That's for sure. Make sure to tune into your tuition and don't be afraid to look or sound different from what folks around you know you to be. Change is the only constant, but it comes with a cost. Mental mechanisms that you outgrow or are contending with have this leeching effect on you. It's like the less and less you go to the candy store to buy your favorite treat because, you want to take a little break, the more and more you'll start to see a new discount sale signs on the store window. But if you give into these temporary discounts, the price tag will go back up and you'll find a new meaning or reason why spending more money this time is justified. Now, come on now. Always remember, you are rich spiritually, if only you can perceive it to be. Oh, and when it comes to the finances, just go for it. You really want to catch that flight? You'd be surprised just where the funds will come from. Believe me. Now, I am proud of who I am and how I've handled myself being this far out alien that I am. The decisions that I've made to stay in my lane, focus on what makes me me, go at my own pace until I've reached an internal state where I can hear God say, today is the day, and always. So I'll leave you with a little poetry, you know what I mean? A little couple bars. Here we go. I'm turning 30 in a world divided, distraught, dead. I'm turning 30 with a roof over my head. I'm turning 30 and still I dare to live out my wildest dreams, not just when I'm asleep. I'm turning 30 and I never let anyone get the best of me. I'm turning 30 and the sea levels are steadily rising above. I'm turning 30 and I'm a witness to the power of love. Aging and maturing are key for those who might have felt they've been trapped, and that's natural navigating through this world. Our mind is the deadliest weapon we have against these traps when we know how to access it properly. 30 millimeters in your clip. Once you learn where to aim, never quit using it. Okay, hold on. I just had to put that in there. All right, so my main source for this essay is Learning Mental Mechanisms is the Key to Life. This is a Dolo the Pilot Man video. You can catch the full lecture and open panel on YouTube. And I am Jam.